What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here with episode number 25 of our Williams revival on F1 Manager 22, and today we're going to be going to the Hungaroring in Hungary, so good times are ahead. We've got some development points though on our drivers, Piastri and Porsche, and I think we should start by maybe improving Mr. Piastri's smoothness a little bit more. That's going to help us out. I have a weird feeling I did this last episode, and I don't know why it's making me do it again. It's fine, we'll get over it, and we'll just carry on our lives. With Théo Pourchaire, I think we're going to go with his accuracy, because he has a little running wide problem that cost him some points the last time out. See if there's any staff points to deliver. There are no staff points to deliver, so that is absolutely fine. In the inbox, we've just got our debriefs and our overviews and our board reviews and all that good stuff. So we're going to carry on. We've got a design completing, which we're going to have to emergency manufacture to get that on the car. I'm not worried about the money at the moment because we're still doing pretty well financially. Having cheap drivers will do that to you. So we're going to emergency manufacture some chassis to get those on the car ready for the next race. That's going to be quite important because I don't think we're going to get those done any quicker any other way. So we'll do that now. 8 days. The race is in 3, so we'll do an emergency manufacture of 3 chassis, just because someone will crash. I can guarantee someone will crash because that's what always seems to happen. Otherwise, we'll just do a normal development on 3 more. 3 more should be enough to get us through, I think, is the answer to that question. And do a design, because we need to get the more pace out of our car. In fact, let's put the new one on the car before I forget, because that'll give us a more complete idea of where we're at with things. Let's change that and get that onto car 1 and 2. So we are safely 9th on acceleration. I do want to get more speed out of the car. I mean, this is a low speed track. We're not going to get anything massively developed for it. I think if we're looking at what we're doing for development wise, let's do a car analysis. I think ideally we're probably looking at the Dutch Grand Prix or the Italian Grand Prix. The Italian Grand Prix is, as we know, all about speed. So I think we're going to try and get ourselves more speed and worry about the slow speed development over the winter, I think, is probably, because a lot of it's only really Singapore off the top of my head that requires good low speed. We are currently working on getting more speed out of the car. We'll go over some side pods for this next development iteration. That's going to be good. In fact, let's have a little look just to see if there's anything else. We've got, what, 34 days till the next ATR period. What's coming in the next ATR period that's going to be, or in this ATR period that's going to be effective? Just the underfloor. Okay, so I have timed all this right in terms of how we're using our ATR. Good stuff, that's what I like to see. So we're going to do some side pods, because side pods are going to help us with speed ultimately. And we're going to use half what we have left of everything on that. So another 20 wind tunnel hours can go into this one. Should be all good all round. We'll go into what the car performance is relative to the rest of the grid. And I think that's the highest speed performance one. That is. Okay, good. Can we get more airflow out of the car? I'm not worried about the cooling necessarily. I want to see if I can get anything more out of that. Okay, so let's do some engine cooling. We're going to lose drag reduction if I do anything engine cooling wise, unless I drop the airflow all the way down and we can buy some more engine cooling out of the car. I don't know if that's going to help with the speed dynamics at all. I don't want to lose too much speed. Can we go to... Well, let's just go back. After all of that, let's just go back to optimized race performance. I know we can get some more out of our drag reduction from somewhere. I know I'd had that down. Let's just put everything we can into drag reduction. That's going to help us out, and then we'll go down to engine cooling. We're just going full drag reduction. That's what we're going to do. Full drag reduction for the top speed. That's what I'm looking for. So we're going to put all 4 of those engineers in it. We're going to go intensive. That should bring it in. Oh, we could rush it, but that should bring it in time for our trips to Sanford and Italy, which is going to be where we really need the extra pace. So that'll work out fine. That's worked out beautifully. Okay, card development report, we don't need to worry about that. We're just going to keep going forward, ready for the practice sessions and the qualifying sessions and all that good stuff for Hungary, where hopefully we'll have a good enough car to get something out of this. I guess we should look at the race prep. I thought we should look at the cars. Look at the cars analysis and see if we can make a good prediction of where we're going to end up. So 7th to 17th, 10th position. I guess we're looking at probably 12th. Around 12th. We're not going to make big promises today, I think, is what we're taking away from this. Let's go to the race targets. We're going to promise Q2. We're going to do a qualifying position. I think 14th is probably can get a car in 12th. I think I'll be happy. I'm not going to promise Q3 today. I know it's probably leaving some money on the table. I'm not going to promise that, or a fastest lap, actually. That would be a mistake. Quali position target. Because I know we're looking at a 12th here, we're going to go for a 12th on a hot streak of 5. That should help us out. That'll be fine. We should get that money in fairly guaranteed. And I'm going to go to the race weekend, and I'll see you after qualifying. So qualifying is over here in Hungary, and Q3 in the book. Charles Leclerc takes pole with a 1:14.692, but has also taken a grid penalty, which is probably going to help us out just a little bit. Carlos Sainz on second. Verstappen and Hamilton take the second row, Russell and Piastri the third, Perez and Bottas the fourth row, and Porsche and Vettel the fifth row. However, of course, grid penalties mean that Piastri is probably going to move up to fifth place. Porsche will move up onto the fourth row, which will help us out immensely. Gasly will come up into 10th as well, which is going to be tremendously useful, I suppose, for getting us to move forward. We've then got Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Stroll, Zhou Guanyu, and Alex Albon. Lance Stroll also taking a grid penalty. Both AlphaTauri is taking a grid penalty, so they'll be fighting their way through from the back, which is all good. So we can have a quick look at our parts for the car.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Qualifying went well for Williams, as attested by their strong position on the grid. Now it's all about finding that edge for the race itself. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the clouds today look very ominous, which means that teams may have to contend with rain at some point during the race.
And we're 70 laps away then from the conclusion of this Hungarian Grand Prix. And each and every one of them is sure to be thrilling.
Well, having been so rudely interrupted by Crofty and Karoon, let's see what we're going to do with the race today. As I said, I need to look at the car parts because I am aware we have some worn parts, but that should be fine, actually. Tyre-wise, I am very aware that the hards will do pretty much the full race distance. The mediums will do about 2/3 of the race distance, and the softs that we've got will do about 1/3 of the race distance, which means there's a bit of gambling to be done here, I think, in terms of strategy. In terms of the recommended strategy, we'll see what it says about what is fastest. Apparently that is 2-stop is the fastest. That seems very counterintuitive because the hard tyres will do almost the full distance should we need them to. I think what we'll do is we'll take a gamble on going for a medium hard. If we need to get a free pit stop in early for a hard, we'll switch and put some softs on towards the end. I think that's probably the best way to handle that one, just in terms of strategy, because, we'll take the free pit stop. It will help us out some way or another. And obviously, if we get a safety car towards our pit window, we're still laughing, which is nice. Right, in terms of fuel, I don't want to overcook it, but we can only add another couple of laps anyway. So we'll add another couple of laps of fuel. We'll burn it all off, and then if we get a safety car, we are, again, laughing. And if we don't, we'll still make it work, because that's just what we do. Very simple strategy-wise there, I think, is what we're saying. So we'll just do that, get the overtakes done, see what happens. Let's go start the Grand Prix.
A somewhat overcast day for the drivers, who've now taken position on the grid. Looking now at the Williams. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. And looking at the second Williams car. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And we're just moments away now. And here we go, with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And we're underway for 70 laps at Hungary, the Monaco without the barriers, as they call it. We'll see how it goes today. I don't know if we've got the car to necessarily fully compete all the way through this race. I think it's going to be a case of pick up what positions we can from the start and see what happens. Though Piastri making a big push off the grid, 2 places ahead already, and trying to get himself onto the back of Lewis Hamilton. He has gone into a wheel-to-wheel battle with Max Verstappen, which could turn out to be an error. We'll see how that goes. We've now cleared him. That's good. Piastri gaining 2 positions. We'll look at the replay of that for sure. Does a job off of turn 1, does another job going into turn 2. Easy stuff. Make it go around the outside, and we've made it work. Made it stick before we get to the end of that section. Jobs are good, and we're away and clear. Piastri having a very good start, and we are very happy with that in the garage as well, and that is quite understandable. Porsche having a little marker thrown down for him, considering he is still on the bubble a little bit for his job. I do still need to have a little bit of a think. He's gone into battle, it seems, with Fernando Alonso. We'll go off board with that one, see how that's going to shake out. Fernando Alonso on the soft tyres. We haven't done a tyre check yet. Alonso on softs, Russell on softs, Hamilton on softs. They are both going to have, at least Alonso's got fresh softs. Hamilton and Russell may have made a mistake here, as Porsche sort of is just staying wheel to wheel with Alonso for as long as he needs to. We're not going to watch the overtake because, let's face it, that move's not done, and we're coming back into the hairpin, and it's going to just keep battling all the way to the line, this one here, I think. We've finally let Alonso go, but it'll be fine once we get DRS open. We do have a bit more power to play with, based on the fact that we are using high fuel mode. I'm going to have to assume Alonso's not going to go for another look up the inside of turn 1. Good job. Obviously, we are a lap away from DRS still. I'm looking at the back of Perez, who historically has not gone well at Hungary, tends to not do particularly good performances regardless of the car he's in. I believe he's only finished in the points twice in Hungary since 2013, off the top of my head. So, you know, it's not a favoured track for Sergio Perez. Piastri has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which is always a good sign. The driver is locked up, not quite sure who's dropping like a stone down the order is the big question. I don't see Leclerc. It was Leclerc has dropped down the order. Let's have a little look at that incident, see what's happened here. Guessing he's just got straight on. He has absolutely had a nightmare there, and we're going to take advantage of that, quite frankly. We'll take advantage of that all day long. Whatever we need, Ferrari gonna Ferrari. Porsche up into 7th, staring at the back of Valtteri Bottas, the man who is undeniably the rival for his seat. He's overtaken Perez in there as well, just to make things a little bit better, a little bit more happy for us. And Piastri is still holding off Max Verstappen, which is something we can't be too upset by. It's got to be said. I feel like we should go back on board with Piastri in just a second, but we'll see how things go once DRS is activated, which it now is, because there is going to be a DRS zone coming very shortly after the turn 1 activation is there or not. If we're going to go straight to a DRS zone, we'll soon find out by looking at the car ahead of us. Piastri doesn't have DRS, Porsche doesn't, so I guess we're going to have a lap with no DRS and see how things go when that all shakes out. Let's go into double speed, because you've got to feel like Porsche must be feeling a little bit racy. Got himself past Alonso. We know Piastri's feeling a little bit racy because he's overtaken Russell and Verstappen. So we know he has got a feeling that he can get a good podium here today. But can Pourchaire join him? Is it the car or is it the driver? That's the big question we're asking. Bottas is dropping away from George Russell, and Piastri is still very much holding his own. Piastri has spun, as I've said that. There he is in the wall. Piastri had to bin it somehow. I guess we're going to be retiring from the race after that. That looks like a retirement crash. Let's see what's happening here. Is he going to be able to carry on? I don't know how he's binned it coming out of that corner. It's almost impossible to bin it coming out of that corner. Hopefully it's just the front wing, but I have a weird feeling if he has survived that crash, it is going to be the suspension as well. And that's going to put all of our hopes on Théo Pourchaire. Piastri is still going. That's good. Let's see what damage we've done to the car. It's just aerodynamic damage. Oh, it's the chassis, it's the front wing, it's the suspension. He is as good as out of this race. We are going to have to make the stop and just see what we can pick up here. We'll go on to a set of hards. In fact, I said we're going to a set of hards. Let's go on to a set of softs. We'll keep the same sort of timing for our pit strategy, but at least if we give them the benefit of the soft tyres, we might get somewhere a little bit faster, get ourselves caught back up a little bit quicker with Leclerc, and hopefully keep ourselves in contention to maybe pick up some lower end points. I don't see it though. Pourchaire is going to have to be our hero today, and he's sat behind Valtteri Bottas. So not a great day for him all round, and Piastri is just going to get dropped by Leclerc for the rest of this lap. He's not going to get caught up terribly quickly. He is relying on a safety car to bring him back into this race. In fact, now I've thought that through, I think we're going to have to change our pit strategy here. We're going to go to the hards. That's going to work out. I think we're just going to have to do our damnedest to get him to the end. We will go on to the hyper-speed strategy, use up as much of these tyres as we can to get to the end. We'll go neutral to neutralise that, but when he comes into the pits or gets towards the pit lane, I am going to just make him look after the tyres a little bit. That's going to have to be our strategy. We'll go on conserve for now and see what that looks like when we come out the other side in terms of how long those tyres will last if we conserve them to the end versus if we add a little bit more energy to them. Like I said, his race could well be very much over. After that crash, we might be better off just retiring him. We're going to at least leave him out a little bit longer and see how things go. If it looks like he can get himself back into the race, we will do that, but I wouldn't be terribly hopeful, if I'm completely honest, about anything happening positive from here on out for Piastri. Like I said, we'll see what the strategy says when he comes on the other side of the pit lane. What's it going to say about tyres? I mean, they're barely going to make it to the end. His race is basically done. We're going to stay with Pourchaire, see what Pourchaire can do to help us out here. Go into double speed, and we're going to go back down to a neutral on the deployment and hope for a miracle here, a bit of a safety car miracle it would have to be. Piastri will still, even though he's saving tyres, he should still catch up to the back of Albon, because Albon is a moving chicane. As I say that, Pourchaire gets attacked by Alonso. Great, good stuff. Good work, Théo. You've made me proud, as always. You have made me super proud. Good stuff. And Théo Pourchaire definitely trying to give up his seat to Bottas. We're going to go into the quick zoom mode, because I don't know if Pourchaire is going to make any headway on Alonso, who appears to have forced his way past Bottas as well. And Piastri is going to be the first guy who gets overtaken and lapped here. I have a big feeling. Sector 1 safety car, so Sector 1 yellow flag, nothing quite coming of it. Ricciardo for a lock-up. He's not going to drop him into our clutches unless he has an absolute nightmare. It's got to be said, Pourchaire really needs to buck his ideas up, because he's getting dropped by Bottas in a car that is significantly faster. Let's see what tyres are looking like. Pourchaire not doing a great job of looking after the tyres. Has to be said, there is a chance of rain today, but it's probably not going to happen. He's just kind of no man's landing again, which is not really the way for him. Perez will get past him in short order at this rate as well. I don't know why it is that Pourchaire can't keep up any kind of pace in the race. But if he doesn't buck his ideas up and at least get himself onto a podium, and Piastri on pure pace was going to get himself on a podium the way things were going, and he hasn't done it because of his accident. I mean, I can forgive having a small accident, but having a fully working car, extra fuel to play with, and still somehow not finding your way back to the podium, a little bit unacceptable. Let's go a little bit further forward. Let's go a little bit faster on time, and I just want to see what we're doing for ERS. We are sort of narrowly staying within margins, saving a little bit every time we cross the line. It's building back up, but I think at the moment we're just kind of playing a game of keep Perez behind us and hope our strategy is on point here, which is disappointing. It's not how I want to do things. We let Perez go now. Leclerc is coming through from the back behind us. He worked his way up the field very, very quickly, did Charles Leclerc. He's done a bit of an overtaking masterclass. Let's go back on board. We'll see him there in our mirrors. And Perez in 5th, Bottas in 4th. Ahead of us, they're having a battle. Alonso has made his way onto the podium, which is just Alonso doing Alonso things. Either of those drivers would be a good replacement, but I don't know if we're gonna have Porsche in the car next time out. We might send Porsche to Alfa Romeo. He might get a drive somewhere. We might just end up forcibly retiring Teo Porsche because he's not developed quite as well as I would have liked him to. But at the moment, he is not going to have a drive with us for the rest of the season. We're going to keep going forward, but I think this race is a little bit over and done with. Let's see where things are with Piastri. Piastri is not lapped yet by Sainz, but he's not far off. Verstappen is out there as well. No pit stops just yet. Bit of a gap at the top for us. 10 seconds from Sainz to Verstappen, 10 seconds from Verstappen to Alonso. Front two look like they've secured the bag. It's just third to race for, and we can see it, so we're not out of it just yet. We're just not in it. And you do have to question when there is going to be a possibility of an overcut. Where are we on race strategy? We're still a few laps away from making a stop. We are going to have to get an undercut somehow. I just have to work out when the earliest we can pit and still make those tyres last to the end is going to be. So let's do a little bit of a strategy play, see what we can do here. The earliest we could come in would be 25. And even then we're really gambling, but 25 would be the earliest we could come in. We'll try and go to lap 26, but I think we're going to have to try and get an undercut here. I don't think an overcut is going to work at Hungary at all. I don't think it'll be terribly successful. I'm just going to have to play it by ear and see what we come out in the grand scheme of things. That's going to be the big question for us. Which strat do I leave it on, A or B? I left it on A. A, the strat is 30, so we're looking about 26 to 30. Is going to be our window. I think for a pit stop, we don't want anyone to come in before us if we can help it, and hopefully that won't be the case. In terms of tyres, Leclerc's on a set of really well-used mediums. I think he started on the softs, though. I have a feeling he started on the softs, so he's going to have to pit again to get to the end. That's not the biggest drama in the world. In terms of coming out, it's about a 25-second pit stop, so going to leader here, we'd be coming out in good air behind Stroll and Albon at this point. So, okay, we could make this work. We're going to have to play it very carefully, but either way, let's do a zoom forward. Try and keep Leclerc behind us for now. Get ourselves in a bit of a groove. We'll see what we can do to make this work, make this pay off for us. Alonso has come in already. Alonso has seen the undercut and has probably had some kind of feelings, some kind of way about making that go, unless he's two-stopping. Is Alonso going to be two-stopping? Possibly. I mean, he could make it from here, but it'd be unlikely, so we're going to keep going on to 25, and we're going to play it by ear from there, is the plan. Verstappen's had a spin, which means he's probably going to come out ahead of us. We're going to switch to strap B. Verstappen will come out ahead of us, but Perez is going to be catching him as well. Hopefully he's got a little bit of damage from that. That would do us nicely. We are going to open up the pit window for here. I'm going to go for a full push from this point, and as soon as those tyres start wearing out, properly wearing out, we are going to go for it. That's the plan. Sector 3 lock up for another driver. Is that going to do anything? It's not going to do anything to bring anyone out. Has anyone had a big drop in positions? Norris has had the big drop in positions. Okay, right, let's keep going. We are playing strategy by tyre wear here. This is the optimal pit stop lap. Thank you very much for that. I'm well aware this is the optimal pit stop lap. I set that up. I just want to make sure we're as close as we can possibly be to the back of Valtteri Bottas before we come in. That's the plan. We are as close as we can be here. We're right on his rear wing. We're going to go one more lap after this one, unless Bottas comes in, which I don't think he will. I don't think he's brave enough to come in just yet. Surely? Surely not. No, he's not. Okay. Good stuff. So we're going to come in for this lap. That's the plan. We're going to come in, switch to our set of hard boots and take those to the end. And hopefully we will be all good. We're not going to have any mistakes. We're not going to have any errors. We're just going to push. Can we get Bottas going through this first corner? We're not going to. There's still an overtaking opportunity coming through this DRS zone. Did have a go. Good stuff, Teo. Nice thinking. We're on the same page. Are we going to have a go around the outside here? We're not, but we're not losing too much ground. We're keeping Leclerc behind. We're just going to have a big push on this in lap. Let's go to double speed, just in case he makes an overtake happen on this in lap. Piastri is still not fully out. He has actually quite a Guan Yu show. Sainz is catching as well. There is going to have to be a pit stop at some stage for Sainz that will bring him back into contention with Verstappen. Verstappen coming in now trying to get an undercut on Sainz. I'm not sure you're going to get a 17-second undercut, but I fully rate you trying. We're into the pits now, into the box. Let's see what we can do from here. We are going to lose a few positions, but as I said, we should come out somewhere ahead of Albert, maybe ahead of Tsunoda, actually. We'll come out somewhere around 14th, would be my guess, which would put us behind Lando, but that's not too big a problem. Let's see what we come out. I can see Lando coming through on the mini-map there on the right-hand side. How is this going to shake out? Are we going to get enough speed up to stay in contention? Lando is gone, but Tsunoda well behind us in the Haas, so we are back in the fight now. Piastri, meanwhile, catching up to Guan Yu Show. We'll see a Guan Yu Show appearing in just a second, and there should be some pit stopping to happen here, so we're not going to suffer too badly. Sainz coming to the pits is going to buy us a little bit of a gap before we get lapped. Perez, you'd hope, would come in after this one as well, but it is Pourchaire we are worried about. In fact, let's make sure we've got Pourchaire using these tyres a little bit sensibly. We should be okay from here. Right, let's see what we can do. We're going to get onto the back of Norris first off. So Lando Norris, our first target for an overtake. He might even come into the pits very shortly. He is coming to the pits right now. Good stuff, Lando. Release us into the wild. That's what we like to see. We have got some ERS to play with, so we'll go full deploy. See who we can get coming out of the pit lane. Are we going to get Perez, perhaps? We will get Bottas. Bottas is done. Bottas is taken. We're getting onto the back of Perez as well. So hopefully, we're going to be in with a shout of a top two here. That's not out of the question because Perez was comfortably in second. The undercut has worked out quite nicely for us, and we're onto the back of Perez. Can we make this work? Round the outside, buddy. Come on, make it work at the inside here. Let's get this done. Push on the ERS. Push it through. Excellent stuff. Into the chicane here. We're going to come out maybe just a touch ahead. We're going to make that stick. I don't know. I don't care. Let's deploy instead. Let's just do a big deploy down here. Keep Perez in our mirrors. Go back to neutral. And hopefully that could be job done for a podium here. Alonso, I'm very well aware, has stopped. So have Russell and Hamilton. But I have a feeling they're two stopping. So that could have worked out okay for us. We are looking good. Let's keep pushing on. Pourchaire and Perez is going to be a battle in the background for a little while here, I think. Leclerc is going to get himself involved in the fight as well. Pourchaire using way too much fuel. We'll drop that back down so we don't burn all our fuel. And we'll see how this goes in terms of a battle now once Leclerc gets involved. Pourchaire getting dropped slightly by Perez once the tyres come in, but we're still not out of this. I don't want anyone to think we're out of this at all. We should be able to make something work. There are yellow flags going all over the place. People making errors, people making little mistakes. Pourchaire gets a bit of his fuel back. That's good. Sainz has brought Verstappen back into it with a little spin too, which is good. And we have, I'm just checking, we have dropped Albon, put him between us and Carlos Sainz in terms of being lapped. That should be okay. Pourchaire doing okay. Let's move Piastri down to balance fuel. Don't know why I was trying to burn fuel like it was going out of fashion. We're not gonna do much to get ourselves back into this race. I feel like I should retire the car just in case we need the just in case we need the parts for later on. There's a little bit to play with though, so we can take a little bit of a gamble on a safety car in this race to bring us back into it. Pourchaire staying ahead of Bottas. At the very least, holding on to that last points-paying position. I don't know what we're going to shake out in terms of things for the cars on the 2-stop. We should be okay, though, I would think. We're keeping a little bit of fuel in the background to push out and use for the last few laps, which I think should be quite nice. In terms of Pourchaire keeping Bottas behind, although, of course, Bottas does this on pure pace, we are still looking and saying bye-bye Pourchaire. Piastri not really doing much to get himself up to and past Guan Yu Show, which shouldn't be a big ask. Where are we at in terms of being lapped? We must have been lapped by now. To the leader, we have been lapped. Of course we've been lapped. Excellent stuff. Right, Pourchaire, you have got something to prove, my boy. Plus half a kilo on fuel, which is not many laps, but it's enough that I can confidently give you a little bit of a push. Get you ahead of a few people some way or another, get you a good little bit of a gap push on some of the guys coming into pit now as Pourchaire moves up into 6th through the pit stop phase, gets himself onto the back of Alonso. We're getting past some lapped cars. We're about to lap our own teammate. That's always a little bit embarrassing when you can lap your own teammate, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Let's do some deployment once we get past Piastri. I feel like we should tell Piastri to not fight his teammate too much. Let him go, please. Don't mess around too much. That would be problematic if you did that. Come on, buddy. Just let him go. Just let him go. Move out the way. Move out the way. Oscar, you're out of this unless there's a safety car. Let him go. Let him go and catch Alonso. You know what you're doing? You are just causing problems. I didn't want you to spin. That was a stupid thing to do. But we'll take it, I guess. If that's the yellow flag that gets us. Oh, it was Alonso that binned it. It wasn't even Pourchaire. It wasn't even Piastri that binned it. It was Alonso that binned it. I was right behind Alonso. I thought I was sat behind the rear wing of Piastri. I wasn't. They're miles apart on track. Why didn't I check the mini-map? Okay, we've taken 5th. Good stuff. I love it when I pay attention. Right, let's keep on trucking, boys and girls. Let's get ourselves all the way through here. Let's see what we can get going. Pourchaire 5.8 behind Mr. Perez. I feel like that's a gap we can probably bring a little bit closer if we need to. We're not gonna risk using all our ERS, but it'll be fine. Okay, let's just keep Pourchaire going. Piastri, it should be good on everything at this point. Let's give you more of a push. Just because it'd be nice if you could catch Ricciardo. There might even be a couple of positions in it through the pit stop phases for you if you're really lucky. But I don't thoroughly see it. We're on the back of Hamilton. I've just realised we've got ourselves onto the back of Lewis. We have got ourselves back onto... sorry, Lewis has got himself past us, is more accurate. That's okay. We'll do a push. We'll do a deploy. We'll get ourselves onto the back of Lewis again. Hopefully he can push us through the DRS zones if we can get near him. I don't think we can, I'll be honest. I don't think we're getting anywhere near him. I think our battle now is just with Bottas and Alonso, and Alonso is going to be coming up quite quick because I believe he just made a second stop, or he will be making a second stop. Russell has made a second stop. So, we are very much relying on the Williams. That is Hamilton going into the bin. Hamilton has put it into the wall. That's excellent. Yellow flag has helped us out massively there. He's not going to come in. So, We're looking okay in 5th now. Hamilton gets himself stuck behind Valtteri Bottas, 4th position, and we'll be okay. Perez, I think, is unassailable. Porsche, though, just having a battle for his seat with Valtteri Bottas right now, and we can see Bottas behind us. I think we're going to call this the race for that one seat between two drivers and see how it all shakes out. Bottas must know he's in the frame for a Williams seat, must know it could happen for him today. Porsche is going to do everything he can to keep him behind. Let's go down to saving some fuel. Not all the saving of the fuel, of course, but we're going to save a bit of fuel. Where are we at in terms of tyres versus Bottas? We are probably needing to save a little bit of tyres. Maybe a little bit. I wasn't quite sure how that curve was going. I guess actually he'll make it. He will make it. It's fine. Let's not let Bottas get to. Give him a fighting chance. We'll give Porsche a fighting chance. Fuel is getting low. I'm very aware fuel is getting low. I appreciate your concern, Alex. Kind of you to tell me that. Luckily, Hamilton is forcing his way. In fact, Hamilton forcing his way through isn't going to help at all at this point. Hamilton forcing his way through is not going to help us at all because he's going to pull Bottas closer to us, isn't he? And that's going to be ridiculous. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's just hope for the best. That's all we can do here is hope for the best. Piastri has just dropped a place behind Guan Yu Zhou as well. They're not far apart on the track. I feel like maybe because there's nothing to lose, we're going to do a just in case of safety car, bring in Piastri, see what he can get out of a set of hard tyres on attack. Let him go. Just let him go. See what we can do. There's nothing to lose or gain. It's all just practice for Piastri at this point. Meanwhile, Hamilton is going to be having a little look at the back of us. I feel like we should probably use some defensive ERS here. Try and keep ourselves ahead of Hamilton if we can without letting Bottas get too close. That's sort of my plan. And hopefully what will happen here is Piastri will come out of the pits ahead of Albon, ready to chase down Guan Yu Zhou over the next 4 laps, or at least just have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of fight, get himself some overtakes done. That would do us nicely. That would be a good thing for Piastri to do, get some overtaking practice in, because that all helps with his development points for the season too. What do you think about that? His development. We're out of overtake. Good stuff. Okay, let's just keep that running. Just see if we can keep Mr. Hamilton behind us. 4 laps to go, just coming on to 3 laps to go. And we can manage ourselves to the end. We'll be okay. Hamilton's got way more tyre and he's on a medium compound, so should breeze past us here. Hopefully that's not done enough to bring Bottas back into the conversation, because if it has, we're in trouble. We should get ERS here, do we? Or does Hamilton gets it to turn himself loose, free himself up from our clutches. And I think that's probably the last we've seen of Lewis Hamilton for the rest of this race. I think Sir Lewis is probably so gone that it's not even funny. I guess we could deploy some ERS to try and stay on his rear wing, keep us ahead of Bottas. That would help. Maybe we can use a bit of the fuel we've got saved as well, just to try and stay a little bit in contention. I don't know how much help that's going to be, given everything else we've got going on, but we tried, we tried our best, and we failed miserably, and the lesson was to never try. Right, let's keep ourselves just ahead of Valtteri Bottas. That's the plan. That's what we're going for. Just seeing if we can keep ourselves ahead of Bottas. I think Piastri's trying to catch up valiantly to one of the Ferraris, which is nice of him. Let him have his fill of a chase of probably Charles Leclerc, I think that is. Can't be science, surely. Piastri has taken the fastest lap with a damaged car. Magical stuff. That's good stuff right there. Still don't think he's going to get past that Ferrari, but if he could unlap himself a little bit, that would be nice for us, I guess. It's 2 laps down, so it will be Sainz that he's got ahead of him. Again, wasn't too concerned about his tyres, about his finishing position. 2 laps down or not is not really making any odds for him at this stage. He's just had some practice and taken a fastest lap. It's just made him happy. Right, let's give ourselves a little bit of a push. There's a couple of laps left. We can probably get a little bit more aggressive on the tyres, just to see if we can make any inroads into Hamilton and try and keep Bottas and Russell behind us. They are forming a DRS train, which is not something we want to see, because that will bring them both into play. I'm well aware Russell is also on medium tyres, so we do have to keep them behind. We'll keep pushing ahead though. Last lap commences. George is within sight of our rear wing. Only 2 more DRS zones to go. No more DRS zones to go. There are no more DRS zones to go. That is all she wrote. That is all she wrote for the rest of this lap, I think. So we're just going to keep ourselves pushing on. Russell will get close enough to within a second of us, but I don't think he'll bring Bottas with him. In fact, we are pushing away slightly, which makes life a little bit sweeter. Let's conserve fuel through the last couple of corners, just so we don't completely run out. I had a little moment there where I realised I'd gone a little bit mental. Back to balanced. There we are. Last lap starts now. Russell is up behind us. There is some DRS to be used by him, but we've kept him behind, and now we can just keep ourselves going. That is, he's lapped everyone up to 12th. Good lord and good stuff at the same time. That almost came out. Good stuff for Carlos Sainz. 18 seconds over Max Verstappen. It's a little bit absurd. And Leclerc crosses the line for 3rd place. Perez will take 4th. That's inevitable. Hamilton 5th. We're just trying to hold on to 6th for the good points. And Porsche, I think, has maybe done enough to keep his job. I mean, feels harsh to sack him after being the only points winner in this race. He's going to come across the line. We're going to drop him down to balance to make sure he actually does. So we'll drop him down to conserve, just to hopefully guarantee he crosses the line. There we go. We've got it into a green +0. We're going to make it across the line. Job done. Kept George behind. We're probably going to stop absolutely dead right here. Don't care. We did the job. We got it finished. And that is going to be 4 points on the board for us today. Good stuff here in Hungary. That's what we like to see, hear and feel. That's everyone across the line. So we can hear the roar of the crowd and get ourselves ready for Crofty to brief us on what happens in the light of that race.
A wonderful result here for the Williams driver. Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
I couldn't agree more. It just shows what this team can do when all the pistons are firing.
And after this result, the team is 4th in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
So we are free and clear of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Confirmation here of the race results. We have got Carlos Sainz winning the race, Verstappen and Leclerc complete the podium. Perez, Hamilton, Porsche, 3 points it was. Russell and Bottas completing the points. And of course, our boy Oscar Piastri finished in 19th place. He did unlap himself for the second time though, so good work for him. Nice stuff. Right, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, George Russell moves up into 6th, Verstappen, Leclerc and Sainz lead the way. None of them yet at 100 points, but still very tight. There are 4 points separating the top 3. That battle will go to the end of the season. Hamilton next on 54 points. He's 39 points away from that top 3 fight, so it's probably not going to happen for him. 7 points down then to Perez, and the 17 to George Russell. Piastri sits 1 point behind Russell, having been leapfrogged by Russell picking up those 2 points. Alonso sits in 8th with 21. Porsche goes up into 9th ahead of Valtteri Bottas with those 3 points, so thoroughly staying on top of the battle for that second race seat. Bottas in 10th with 10 points. Gasly in 11th with 9 points. Norris in 12th with 7 points. Magnussen in 13th with 4 points. And Daniel Ricciardo in 14th with 1 point. Ocon, Vettel, Stroll, Tsunoda, Albon, and Guan Yu Zhou are there to bring up the rear, all with 0 points in the constructors. Well, Ferrari are at 184 points, 16 points picked up today. Quick math tells me they've picked up a 43-point lead. Red Bull on 144, Mercedes on 84. We've got 40, which puts us 44 points behind Mercedes, but also 19 points ahead of Alpine, which is, again, pretty strong as things go. AlphaTauri and Aston Martin yet to score any points this season. Who's going to get experience points, development points to help them improve? I'm guessing Porsche will do. And David Schumacher has done, which is magic, and we've made 6 million into the bank. So we are laughing. We may even be able to upgrade a facility or two. Or do we just go for the Bottas? It's a great question. Do I need Valtteri Bottas? Do I need him? Do I want to kick Porsche out of F1? I don't know. I'd love to move him down to second driver and take Bottas. Mid-season review has come. Good stuff. Target position 7th, current position 4th. Our target was to score points in half this season's races, and we've got 9 out of 11. So we're doing okay. We're actually on target, which does make the case for us to keep Mr. Porsche. We get a £1.5 million bonus, which I think is the most important thing to worry about. Right, post-race, we've manufactured our side pods. That's good stuff. Don't think we're anywhere near doing any development just yet. I think we've got 10 days. We do have 10 days before we start our next design. Let's have a little look at any development points we need to get on the drivers. David Schumacher picking up 1 for his performance in practice. We'll stick it on smoothness because that's his lowest rating. Doesn't go up in terms of his overall. Staff-wise, anyone going to get any bonuses here? Nothing at all. Okay, let's have a look at facilities just to see what we could do in terms of car development. We could probably get away with a factory. We can't quite get away with a factory design centre. We're nowhere near a new design centre. Wind tunnel. Wind tunnel would be very helpful. Would be very helpful. Would it be as helpful as a CFD simulator? I'm just having a little look in terms of cheaper and it's quicker. But does it provide more anything? Let's go with a CFD. Bring it up to the same level as the wind tunnel. That's going to help us out. That'll be really good for us, I think. Just to have that in the bag. And we can buy a wind tunnel. Wind tunnel's 12 million. We'll get that before the end of the season. We'll keep up with the improvements we need to make. Do we have anything we need refurbishing? We don't just yet. Hospitality area is not quite there, but will be soon. The weather centre. Can we spend some money on the weather centre? Not quite. That'll be my next thing after we have got the wind tunnel, I think, is the development centre. That will do us nicely. Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up there. We'll do the summer break and the Belgian. In fact, let's do the summer break now. No, we'll do the summer break in the next episode. That's my thinking. Right, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Leave your comments down below. Tell me how you think the second half of the season will go. Are we going to get ourselves back further up the grid? We'll have a little look, just to see a bit of a teaser for next episode, maybe, in terms of the Belgian Grand Prix. We are 11th on top speed, 9th on acceleration. They're crucial, 6th on high speed. There could be some points to be won in this second half of the season. You never know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I have, as always, been chasing lately. Until next time, I shall see you very soon. Stay safe, and until then, have a good one.